a pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to guard.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check. Fresno, in the car. Switch.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move him into a 3rd and 13 here.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get 34 yards there.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Set. 19. Let's go, baby. Return up. Get that ball. 54.
3rd and 2, Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brooks. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set. 19. Let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right now. That's 59. 58, Mike.
From the gun, here's Watson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Johnson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after try forthcoming. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back. Check 24. Check 24.
And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Check 50. Check 50.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 37-yard line.
Okay, ready? 4-1 Mike. Time to go, night. Watch tight end. Even. 4 gas. Ready?
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Here's Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Ben Banagoo in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it with Johnson. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, I mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the move to his left. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence, that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38.
1st down, Texans. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the ground, this is Johnson. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
It's just me and you. Check 9, check 9.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Watson. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a give left side to Falk. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9. Watson, screenplay, Johnson. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. Ebron's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. Open here, Adam Thielen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
A 28-yard gain. 1st down, Houston.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Guys, game situation. Let's go. He's coming. Double up, double up.
Watson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. That's going to be caught. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Room to run inside the 40. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Check 41. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Mike 58, right there. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. 59. I'm on 3.
After the interception, here's Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go.
Now it's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post-grab?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check. Check 9. Shoot. Slam.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Switch. Alert flag. 59. Out we go.
Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Check 4.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Watch the screen. Line up, go. 58's the mic. Line up, go.
Watson now, operating from the gun. Got an open man, it's QT. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Indy. 57 yards. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
41. We've got to wedge that, huh? Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. 41's coming. Jack Rabbit. 41's the mic, 41's the mic. Check 41. Ain't no such thing as a look.
From the gun, Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. It's complete to Fuller. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Where's the tap? Look at the egg! Come on. Sponge!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Pass it.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long.
931.
Out of the gun, Watson steps away. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 23. They were looking for Johnson that time.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Lucky. Check 37. Check 37. Cover. Orbit. Check.
After the interception, here's Jackson going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Watch it. Check. Crunch.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
That's going to be a long day.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Check set. 19. Check 53's mine. Cut.
And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee. So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Texans, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Davis and our entire